Hi guys. So, my heart is just pounding today. Not because I'm nervous for this, but I'm emotional about this one. And I'll talk about that a lot more at the end because I want to make sure that most of the people who regularly come to these videos are all on here before I really start talking about what these have meant to me. So I want to make sure that I refresh so I can see any comments that come in. So one thing I do want to say kind of to start off is, as you can tell with my role plays, they're not scripted. They are improv, and the only way I can do that is to really work from my experiences. So I know I've mentioned this briefly, but all of these guided visualizations that I'm taking you on are mine. So this was my chakra workshop. I did a chakra workshop a few months ago, and luckily the visualizations were very open-ended, so they were really just, you know, here's where you're going to go, and then there was strumming or something so I could kind of go off on my own. And these and I've taken you where I went on all of these. It's the only way I know how to do this. I can't I'm not very good at having people visualize something I can't visualize myself. So I take you where I went, and I do a lot of visualization before I do my videos, and I take you guys places that I've gone. I see you all filtering in. And hi Tom, hi Katie, hi Sophie. Rue RPG, I know I'm pretty sure you've given me your name before. Tell me your name again, because I know you've been on videos before. You may even be in the group. Remind me of your real name. I apologize. I really need to go back and figure out who, because everybody has a different username on Facebook than on here. And for those of you, this is sort of the last chance to get in on the Facebook group. And I will talk more about the Facebook group at the end. It's been really the surprise gift to me of these workshops. So if you are interested, oh hi Brittany, hi, sorry about that. You weren't on last week, I don't think so. Hi Kate, hi Kate, hi Kate. You know, I'm sad too, but I don't know why, because this isn't ending in any, well, I do know why, actually. I'm not really sad. I've realized I'm not really sad. I'm kind of overwhelmed that it's the end of this huge door opening in my life. As I've mentioned before, doing workshops is something, ASMR workshops is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Sure, and Julianne, sorry, I'm going to just jump in, because Julianne, I don't think you're in the Facebook group, and you should totally be in the Facebook group. So you should friend me on Facebook, Jessica Cross. You'll see my little Nutty McFreak. Actually, no, I changed my picture, so it's not Nutty McFreak anymore. It's my face. Because I was going through and looking at the photos of the people in the group, and I realized that it's much more personal to have your face up there instead of my little icon. I thought it might be easier to find me with my icon. And yes, Brittany, I know you're in the group. I just, for some reason, your username didn't click for me for a minute. So, yeah, this is not a goodbye in any way, and I really think the emotion around it for me is that I've done this. I had always wanted to do live ASMR workshops because I used to do workshops and trainings for businesses, and that is what I had in my head. And once I decided that I was going to think outside of the box and I was just going to do these and do them online, and it's been so incredibly powerful. And one of the main reasons it's been so incredibly powerful is because of the Facebook group, because it really did turn into what it's like to do an ongoing group with people where you get to know each other. And it's only been, the Facebook group wasn't even there for the first week, I think, week or 2 weeks. So it's really only been about a month. And people are already starting to take care of each other and support each other. And that's kind of amazing to me. And I can't imagine that I'm going to go from here to the retreat without doing a live one. I'm going to want to do some sort of wrap-up on this, I think, and I would assume you guys would too. So I may take next Monday off, although if you jump in here and my son has gone to sleep well, I may end up jumping in. I have a regular video that I've recorded that's scheduled, but I may end up wanting to do a wrap-up at that point, especially depending on what happens in the Facebook group. And yes, Julianne, I'd love to get you in the Facebook group because you're here all the time, so it would be nice to have you in that group. And for those of you who are going to be on the retreat, who want to be on the retreat the 9th, 10th, and 11th, I'll talk more about that because that's what's keeping me from being quite so emotional about this, because it's not an end. It's only an ending in terms of, for me, I've accomplished this. And I think that's what it should be for you guys too. This workshop was much more intense than I thought it would be. I knew it would kind of bring up some issues. That was sort of the whole point of running it. But I didn't think it would be quite as intense as it has been for me too. Again, I'm not doing the guided meditations with you because I'm reading them, but I've done them before. Well, I'm not reading them, I'm saying them. But the surprise for me has been this Facebook group where I really feel like I've found the community that I've been searching for. The ASMR community is wonderful, but it's huge. And as some of the people in the Facebook group have expressed as well, some of us function better in a small group, and I am definitely one of them. I am not a party girl. When I go to parties, I try to find like one person I can sit and talk to and get to know. I like small interactions with people. I don't like chit chat. And the ASMR community is so big that it's hard to do much more than chit chat. I have a few people who have watched me from the beginning and comment, and I know them on Facebook and I interact with them and reach out to them. But it's too hard with, I have a whole bunch of Facebook friends and know very little about most of them. But on this small chakra workshop Facebook group, it's really meant a lot to me. And it's just meant a lot to me that everybody has just reached out to one another so quickly. It's very touching to me. It's very touching to me. So I just want to thank you guys for that. That has really meant a lot to me. And yes, this is the door shutting. We got to get to the role play because we can't really shut the door and celebrate until we've done that final role play. But then we're moving on to wonderful, wonderful things. So we're moving on to the retreat. We're moving on to the Destiny workshop, and then hopefully another retreat after that. I'm thinking of doing a retreat on my website on passion. And if you've loved these, This is what I want to be when I grow up. I want to do this. I mean, we're doing the Destiny workshop's all about like soul path and what were we meant to do. And this is what I was meant to do, at least at this time in my life. Like, not always. You know, when I was younger, I was meant to do social work for a while. I really was, and it was very important to me. For a while there, I was meant to really focus on massage. And recently, I was meant to be a mom and really focus on being a mom. But my son's getting older, and he's going to be in kindergarten. And it's time for me to get back to being creative and helpful to the world. My current job, while not awful, is not really benefiting the world very much. It's benefiting the world in that I've been able to work from home and raise my child. But pretty soon that's not going to be as much of a necessity, and it needs to be time for me to find something that will help the world grow. And I'm a good counselor. I'm a really, really good counselor. And I have found through these guided meditations, I think, a very powerful way to do some of that work with people. So I don't mean to toot my own horn. I don't do that a lot, but I think the response from the Facebook group and just from me doing these myself is that these are powerful. And I love them. You know, regardless of how powerful they are, if I didn't enjoy doing them and they weren't fun for me, it would be hard to sustain it. But the Destiny workshop will be fun. Again, I'm thinking of doing a retreat after that on passion. Should be fun. But the retreat coming up, I will talk about more at the end. Hi, Jennifer. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, so I hope you've watched the other ones. If not, it's fine to jump in at any point, but I do recommend going back and doing the other ones too. So, all right, so there's my ramble. One thing I will say is if you want to get in early requests for, I'm going to do an energy healing for Julianne. And yeah, I'd love to do an energy healing. I know you're asking for reading, but let's do an energy healing. Or something always means an energy healing. So I'm going to do an energy healing for Julianne. I can probably do another one for someone as well. I don't know if I said hi to you, Mindy, but hi. And I have two different kinds of cards. And I'm just saying this now so you can get it in early if you want. And I have all my cards. I have my Power Thought cards, but if you guys didn't get a Life Purpose card last week and want one, and I did bring my tarot up today, but my caveat is if I'm going to do tarot of any kind, I'm going to do at least 3 cards, because pulling one card when I get a really negative card, I know some about tarot, but I do often still need to look up books, and I don't want to do a lot of looking up stuff in books on these live ones. So I'm often going with a really basic reading of that card. And when you do that with one card and you get a negative card, you can just give somebody a really terrible reading. So if I at least pick 3 cards, I can use kind of my own, I have my own tarot reading pattern that I use too. So spread, not pattern. All right, so I'm gonna start. Well, let's talk a little bit about our chakra today. So we got crown. This is the top. We've made it to the top. And the crown chakra is really always connected with higher self or spirit or God or however you see that. But one thing in my reading about this that I also find very interesting about crown. Crown is also about knowing yourself. So it's about really tapping into all of your best qualities as well. So being the best that you can be. So it is about spirit, it is about spirituality, but it's also really what we've been working from day one. So that aspect of your crown chakra may be pretty strong at this point because this entire process has been getting to know yourself. So with that, I am going to do the role play. Yes, I would be happy. I'm gonna have to like go back through. Oh yeah, Kate, I want to pull a life purpose card for you because we did a power thought for you last time. So yes, I'll have to go back through the feed and make sure I get everybody, but I'm happy to do an energy healing for you, Mindy. I don't think I've ever done an energy healing for you, Mindy, and I'm thrilled to. So I'm going to try and get my foot to be less asleep. And then I'm going to go into the role play just so we can congratulate ourselves on all the hard work that we've done. All right, so I will talk to you guys again soon. Hi, how you doing? It's so good to see you. Yeah, a little subdued today. I know, it's our last session. Yeah, it's been really powerful for me too. I'm so glad you've come in for these. So are you ready to wrap things up? I say this like I'll never see you again. I know I'll see you again, and you're welcome in any time. But, you know, I think it's always good to acknowledge endings. For a long time, I did a very poor job of acknowledging endings. I actually moved away from people I loved, and my parting comment, this was probably in my early 20s, was, okay, see you soon. And I wouldn't see them soon. I was moving many states away. So I kind of learned that you got to acknowledge endings as well. Even if they're not, you know, cut and dry, we will never see you again. It's good to acknowledge what we've done and that this is the closing of a chapter, and we'll move on to the next chapter, which will be an important one too. So, yes, bittersweet. Although I'm very proud of you. This is a hard process. So, all right, let's start off with talking about the crown chakra. So we are up here. We are with Violet, and this is spirit, higher self, your spirituality, but also getting to know yourself. So what is your best self? And that you can see that as your higher self, or just, you know, the best that you can be. And knowing yourself. I think that's a really important part of spirit. It's very hard to be happy in the world if you don't understand what you want, what you need. And a lot of what we've been doing is going through and figuring out what you don't need anymore. What is the baggage that needs to be let go so we can replace it with something great? It's really hard work. The next part's much more fun. Coming up with what you want and what you need is a lot more fun than discovering what you don't need anymore. But you're right at the end. So we'll do this final ritual and then we can congratulate ourselves. Okay? All right. So I have lit our candle. And I'm going to do a little bit of spray. With our bergamot. Yum, yum. Okay. Alright. start with a little hand massage to circle our energies, okay? Take your hand and just releasing all the stress of the day, all the worries of the world. We're moving beyond that this evening. We're moving up, 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 massaging your palm into the upper realms. Yes, working on your spirituality really helps put in perspective some of the issues of our day-to-day life. Alright, let me have your other hand. The smells in here are scrumptious with the lotion and the spray and the candle. The candle smells like geranium. So we're going to just let all of that go. Just breathe in the scent and the calm. Okay, take my hands. Let's just circle the energy around. Okay. And let's do some massage. As always, we're going to start to the east. The shoulder. Spirits of air and new beginnings. Moving to the south, to your shoulders and your neck. Spirits of fire and courage. This has been courageous work. And then over to the west, spirits of water and of deep emotions. And then just across your chest, spirits of the north. Spirits of earth and of grounding. And just take a couple of deep breaths with me. And when you feel ready, you can close your eyes and we will return to a familiar place. And you and I are walking through the forest. Picture it in great detail. Use all of your senses. Where is the sun? What is the weather? How do you smell and hear as we walk towards the clearing with the bench? And you and I sit down on the bench together to wait for your guide, who will again take you into the upper realms. You begin to hear a noise in the forest, walking towards us. Your guide comes and sits next to you on the bench. Ask them any questions. Is it a new guide or someone you've met many times before? If they are new, you can ask their names. And when you are ready, you can leave me and go with your guide to walk through the forest, down the path, towards the garden. As you near the garden, you see the large stalk that climbs into the sky. As you get closer, you may see your guide from the upper realm, or that guide may already be with you. Begin to climb up. It gets easier the higher you go, although the stalk seems to stretch forever. Before long, you come to an opening in the clouds, and you climb through and step onto firm earth here in the upper realm. Look around you. How is this world different than the world you came from? Off the distance, you see a large mountain. Begin to head towards it. Whatever means you travel in this world, you may fly with your guide if you have a bird guide. You may fly on your own, as you may have that ability. If you are walking, the walk is easy and comfortable, and though the mountain seems far away, you come to it very quickly. If you're on foot, you can begin to climb, and again, like the beanstalk, each step becomes easier and easier as you climb to the top of the mountain or fly. And when you reach the top of the mountain, I want you to sit. And you may find another guide joins you. Listen carefully. Hear if there's another guide walking towards you. Wait for that guide to join you. Look around the top of the mountain. The way the sun hits the mountain, there's a violet glow all around you. Are there any signs for you here? Are there any items for you to find? Look all around this small clearing at the top of the mountain at the summit. And then return to where your guide or guides sit. Ask any questions about the items you have found, or what you need to know about spirit and your higher self. Take another look around. It is a beautiful view from up here. Know you can return at any time. If you've had a guide join you who will remain on the top of the mountain, thank them and ask if they have a gift for you. That gift may be a thought, Maybe a color, maybe a feeling, it may be a word, it may be an item. Take whatever they give you and thank them. You may offer them something in return, or just that you will return. Make your way down the mountain. It is even faster now as you walk down. And walk back towards where the stalk is, or fly, however you wish to travel. If you have a bird guide who will remain in the upper realm, thank them. Ask if they have a gift for you, and you may offer a gift in return, or they may decide to accompany you down. When you are ready, begin to climb down the stalk. Travel with your guide back through the garden, through the forest, to the bench. And come sit with me. And I have a few questions for you or your guide, whoever wishes to answer. How can you better connect with Spirit right now? What is the next step you need to take toward becoming your best self? And finally, and you may want to ask this of your guide, what have your guides been trying to tell you that you haven't heard? Now thank this guide. Ask if they have a gift for you. And you may offer something in return. Thank your guide. And your guide returns to the forest. And you and I begin back on the path through the forest. As you slowly begin to return to your body here, where you are sitting or laying, and you can begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, and when you're ready, open your eyes. How are you? Are you fully back? Here, have a chocolate. Let's bring you back in your body. And for you, I have some too. It does help. Okay. Start with massage to the four corners, to help return you to your body. Let's start with your chest. Spirits of the north, the earth, and the west. Spirits of water, of my beloved lakes and rivers, and your shoulders and neck. Spirits of the south, of fire, warmth, and to the east, and spirits of air and wind. Let me have this hand, just massaging to return you to your body, and your other hand. And take my hands and let's circle that energy around. Close the circle and extinguish our candle. So you did it. Yeah, these are places you will visit again, but the first journey is always the hardest. And we can definitely schedule a follow-up appointment if you want to discuss anything. We can return to any of the realms that you like, or we can just jump right in to reawakening, finding what you want to replace. Yes, now we get to look at what you want, not what you need to let go of. Do you want to come in next week? Okay. And we can talk about whether we just need to process for a week, if we need to revisit, or if we can jump right into the fun stuff. Okay. Like I said, I'm very proud of you. It's hard enough to decide to undertake this journey, but to complete it is something to be very proud of. Soul searching is not easy and not something we choose lightly. So, congratulations. Good work. Alright, I'll see you next week. Bye. And congratulations to all of you. If you are finding this video and have not watched any of the rest of the chakra workshop, it's on a playlist on my channel. I do need the rest of that chocolate. It's on, I'm going to have a playlist with all of the videos on there. It's also on my website, nuttymcfreak.com. And I don't know if I'll actually do next week. I might. I'll try to let you know. I think I'll see what we discuss in the Facebook group and make that call. I'll do at least one meeting, even if it's brief, before the retreat. And then we will have the retreat. Let me talk a little bit about the retreat. So I'm excited about the retreat for many reasons. These videos are always a little hard for me because they are at the end of the day and I'm tired And there's always the chance of my son waking up or not going to bed on time. The retreat will be while my son is away with my husband. So I can really just focus on the retreat, which will be fun for me. So I'm just going to close something out here. I didn't record that. I almost always record the audio part on my good mic. And then just put that up if you're ever looking for it on. I just put the roleplay part on my meditation ASMR channel if you're ever looking to just see those. And I didn't record it tonight, so I'll have to pull it off of the webcam recording, which luckily isn't too bad. But it's funny, they almost put you to sleep. I'm glad it was interesting. Yeah, and again, that is where I met one of my guides. I just happened to go up on a mountain, and I've met really my main animal guide, who is a mountain goat. And he's not glamorous. He's not a predator, which we like to have as animal totems and guides. He's really smart. He tells me a lot what I need to know, and he doesn't mess around with how he tells it to me. So he has been invaluable to me. I have somewhere, I'll wear my necklace with my picture of him. I got a jade necklace with a picture of a mountain goat on it. On those days when I'm not listening to spirit enough, I like to wear it to remind me to listen to spirit. So let's talk about the retreat a little bit, and then I will go do my energy healings and then do some readings, and I'm happy to do readings for everybody. I may have to open the door in here, though, because it's sweltering hot. So here's the plan. It's going to be August 9th, 10th, 11th. I think those are the right dates. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. New York time. It's going to be Friday night. I may do it a little bit earlier. I know for those of you in the UK, it's really late, and I really appreciate that those of you in Ireland are here after midnight. I really, really appreciate it. But I know some of you are coming right from work in the US, and so if I do much earlier, it's hard for you to make. So I may do 7 just because my son is gone, and that hopefully will give you guys enough time to... Really, Tom, that's really interesting. We'll have to talk about that more in the Facebook group. I want to know about that. So I will probably start it at 7, but will go for an hour and a half to 2 hours. You know, barring any problems with Google Hangouts. One of the reasons I'm doing these just on my channel is to see if there's going to be any technical glitches before I start doing them through my website. So the first night we're going to do sort of it's going to be very similar to this, just to kind of start you guys out with something that's comfortable. So we're going to do a spirit guide meditation, but then we're going to do a chocolate tasting. So the chocolate grounding part is going to be a chocolate tasting. So I'm going to actually use Lindt, and I think it's called the Luxury Bag. And I picked it because it's reasonably priced but feels very gourmet, and you can get it here. I can get it at CVS. So it was like $5 for a bag, and it was in an end cap at the in the like gourmet chocolate section, and it has chili flavored, sea salt, orange, and then a plain dark chocolate. So there's 4 different ones that we can try. So it's not an outrageous amount. We're not shoving a whole bunch of truffles in our mouths. It's not that expensive, but it feels gourmet. We get a little bit of the crinkle sounds. We got to open the bag, so I know for some people that's a trigger. I do want to throw a lot of trigger sounds in here, because one of the reasons I think that these meditations work really well is the ASMR gets you relaxed to a point, and that's why I do the massages. That's why I really do the whole ritual part and my version of a ritual, because it's very ASMR oriented. I want to get you guys relaxed. So we will do that, and then we'll do a little get to know you activity, which we can do with the comments. Which was one of my favorite activities to do when I did trainings. And then Saturday, I'm going to kind of check in with Liz from WhispersinBloom and see what time is good for her. I think I'm leaning more towards doing an 8 a.m., starting at 8 a.m. Now, here are my options. I'm going to probably do 4 hour-and-a-half-ish to 2-hour videos on Saturday. I could either do, okay, so you think Friday to, okay, so then it's the 8th to the 10th. You know what, I think you're right, because I think Thursday is the 7th. I don't know why I kept thinking the 9th to the 11th. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Kate. So I'm going to do like 4 hour-and-a-half to 2 hours. And I can either do, I'm going to do a 10 o'clock, probably like a 1 o'clock, and then probably like a 3:30. Then I can either do one at 8 a.m. in the morning, or I can do one at like 6:30 in the evening, 6 or 6:30 in the evening. I am more of a morning person. I tend to fade at the end of the day. I'll tell you my goat story at some point. Somebody made me go to 4-H once. I haven't even thought about that. I had a completely traumatic goat interaction at like the one time I went to 4-H, and it hadn't even occurred to me. But my spirit guide's not like that. So, if you have a preference one way or the other, I was thinking of doing 8 in the morning just because I'm going to be excited. I'm going to want to start, and I'm going to be tired by the end of the day. But if there are people in the U.S. who are like, it's a Saturday, you're out of your mind, I'm not going to be up until 9:30, and I'd really, really like to be there, let me know. If there's people who feel really, really strongly one way or the other, again, I'm probably going to go with when I can do the best kind of video, but I want people to be there too. So I don't want to start one at 8 and have nobody there, because it's just not a good time for people. But I thought it might be really good for those of you in Ireland, because then I don't have you up at midnight. So I'm going to do them all day. We're going to, I think, make runes. And we're going to do other activities. We're going to do lots of guided meditations. We're going to do like a yoga role play. I'm trying to throw a lot more ASMR type triggers in the retreat, because it doesn't make as much sense with the retreat to do kind of the same sort of format every time as the workshops, because it get kind of old. Like it's fine once a week to do it this way, and I think in some ways it's nice because you get used to it. But with the retreat, I want to switch things up. We're going to have Liz do a cameo, and then I'm going to do one on Sunday morning, which will be another role play, and kind of wrap things up. And then we will, in like a week and a half, be starting the Destiny workshop. And I'm going to shamelessly plug the Destiny workshop. If you have liked this, this is really the way we're going to set up the Destiny workshop. But this is going to be about figuring out your future, your life purpose, your soul plan, all that good stuff. And you can sign up for that on my website, and we can talk about it more in the Facebook group too, which I would like to do. So so that we can get the people who want to be in it to be in it. And yeah, so that's going to be very similar format to these, but different topics. So there will be a lot more written material for the Destiny Workshop, and that will go up on a blog, and I'll have it in a we're going to have a Facebook group just for the Destiny Workshop as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. Again, like, that's what I want to do when I grow up. So I'm hoping, I'm really excited about starting that. And I'm excited for those of you that are signed up for it. And I know it's a ways away, so I'm going to keep reminding you. But we have the retreat before then. Now, the retreat's going to be a very different feeling. But then I'm going to do retreats through the website as well. So, hi, Jenny. It's good to see you. I know you're in the Facebook group, but I know you can't always make it live. So it's really good. It's really good to see you. And I know there's a few other people who jumped in. But I am probably going to jump right in with the first energy healing. So I'm going to do an energy healing for Julie-Ann, and then I'm going to do an energy healing for, trying to think who else asked, for Mindy. And then I'm going to do readings for anybody else who wants. If you have a preference of what deck I do your reading with, either the Power Thought cards, which I've been using, the Life Purpose cards, which I used last week if you didn't get one, or doing a 3-card tarot, I will probably opt for doing a 3-card tarot unless you tell me otherwise. So if you want something other than a 3-card tarot, let me know. You guys get the full shebang this evening because it's the last one. So, and again, I think that's where the emotion was about, not about its ending. It's not ending. I think there's enough people in the Facebook group who want to make sure it doesn't end. So we won't end it. But I think it's acknowledging the ending and the work that we've done, and that, you know, we're closing that chapter. And I think that's important to do. Again, it's very true that for a long time I was very, very bad at goodbyes, and then I started counseling and I realized, you know, it's one thing for me to be bad with goodbyes in my own life, but I could not do that to my clients. I had to be able to say goodbye effectively to my clients when we were ending our work together. And so I had to do a lot of work with myself and soul searching to be able to say goodbye and make it meaningful, and do it in a way that felt like a useful closure for everybody. So I've gotten better at doing that, and I think that's what this was about. We need to acknowledge what we've done, and no, we're not leaving each other. I think if anything, these relationships will probably get stronger and stronger. And I think I mentioned, you know, I talked about it a little bit in the beginning, but this group has meant a tremendous amount to me. I have been looking for community for a while, and I haven't been finding exactly what I needed, and I haven't felt embraced. Mostly because the groups were larger and it just takes longer. So these nice small groups, one thing it has showed me is even if the Destiny Workshop gets big, I will just break it into separate groups because I want to keep these groups small. That, I think, is one of the biggest benefits of doing these workshops and these retreats, is if you have a small enough group, and I think I may go as high as 30, but that's about it. And if that seems like too much, I'll bring it back down. Right now we have under 20 in the Facebook group, and it's been really nice. I think we could absorb a few more, but I don't know that we could absorb that many more. So I'm going to play around with that. But so don't worry. If you want to sign up, it won't be closed. I will just open a new group, and we will make sure that we have nice small groups. And I can do the same video you know, a few different times at different times of the day. So you might even have more options as to when to catch a live video. And I'll just do separate Facebook groups, so we really feel like we have little communities. That's what I want to bring. Create lots of little tribes. So, all right, with that, Julianne, I'm going to start doing your energy healing. So, let's center myself for a minute. Okay, I'm going to start with your root chakra. So, we're down at your hips. Bright red disc, issues of security. Any childhood issues, and it looks nice and bright. Does not look cloudy. Okay, let's move up to your sacral chakra. So that is right below your navel, and that is an orange color, and there's a little bit of cloud there. That is issues of fertility and creativity. So the creation of anything. There can be a lot of financial issues there. It's about, you know, just creating, including abundance in your life. So let's clear that out, make it a bit of a brighter orange. It's clearing out pretty easily. It's kind of a gray film over it. Good. Looks much better. All right, let's move up to solar plexus. And this is yellow. This is right above your navel at the base of your ribs. And this is power and control. Nice yellow color, could be brightened up a little bit though, so I'm going to breathe into it. So you may need to bring a little bit of strength to your power and control. Not blocked, but just not as bright as it could be. Let's move to your heart chakra. So we've got green light right at your heart. That's a little cloudy, so let's clear that up a little bit. Okay, there's a little light. Come on. Okay, breathe out when I breathe in. One more time. Okay, Julianne. Maybe some love issues or circulatory issues. It can also be kind of heart, physical heart related stuff. So, circulation. All right, let's move up to your throat. This is going to be a bright blue disc right at your throat. This is issues of communication, speaking your truth. Let's brighten that up a little bit. Nice color, but could be brighter. Much better. Good. So again, may need a little bit of strength, but pretty good. Okay, let's look at third eye. Okay, it's an indigo, and this is your intuition. Okay, nice color. Needed a little strength, so you may need to listen to your gut a little bit more. Okay. All right, let's move up to spirit. Okay, violet light right at your crown. Looks good. All right, so let's send a white light down right through all your chakras. Send it deep down into the earth like roots to ground you. And eat your chocolate if you got it. Mm. Okay. No, don't be. It's not speaking selfishly, Brittany. I just need anybody to chime in if it makes a difference to them. So, okay. I'm scrolling back up to make sure I do not miss anybody. Mindy, I'm going to do your healing. Let's see. All right. Okay, and then I will pull a card for Kate. And I'm just going to keep moving through the list. All right, Mindy. Mindy, yours will be shorter, not because, well, it may be shorter, just because I'm not going to explain what each chakra is. I'm going to jump right into it. So, get grounded. I got my chocolate. Okay. So, Mindy, let's start with your root. Okay, Mindy. Breathe in with me. Breathe out while I breathe in. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm knocking my camera all around. I'm sorry. I'm resting my hands on my computer. Okay. So, Mindy, I need you to breathe out while I breathe in. Try and brighten up this root chakra. Oh, that's better. Come on. One more time. Much better, much better. Good, good. All right, let's move to sacral chakra. Orange light. Needs to be brightened up. Okay, that's better. Looked a little almost dusty, like you need to dust off your creativity. Start manifesting a little bit more. The retreat will be good for that. So will the Destiny Workshop. We will really get you asking for what you need, making it happen. So, all right, solar plexus. Power and control. That looks good, Mindy. That looks good. Okay, bright yellow. Heart chakra. Oh, there we go. Okay. Just needed to brighten it up a little bit. One more deep breath. Okay. A little cloudy there. It's almost like it turned on. If this means anything to you, Mindy. So it was kind of cloudy, and then it like turned on and got brighter, and then it kind of collapsed in on itself a little bit at the end. So I don't know what that means. but maybe you do. All right, throat chakra. That is turquoise. Beautiful. All right, let's move up to third eye. Indigo. Ah, okay. Nice intuition. Brighten it up a little bit, but that looks good. Okay, let's go up to your crown. Spirit. Violet. Okay, that needs some brightening up. Okay, so maybe a little trouble finding your higher self, but the intuition is so strong that I think once you kind of find it, that's going to explode. So, all right, let's surround you with a bright white light. Turn it green for healing. Now let's turn it violet, just to really kick into that spirit. And turn it white again and shoot all the extra energy down into the ground, just like a waterfall flowing down into the center of the earth. There you go, Wendy. That one's for you. And I am going to open my closet door, which means it may be a little bit noisier, but hopefully I won't be quite as sweaty. It is. You may be able to hear the rain outside too. It's been thundering and thundering since I got in here. It wasn't when I came in. All right. Kate, I'm pulling you a life purpose card. And if you've left me comments, I will get to them. I promise. I'm kind of working my way down because I don't want to miss anybody. It's something I've found in other videos that, in other circumstances like that. It's really easy to miss people. And I know it doesn't feel good to be passed over. So, not going to pass over anybody. If I pass out because I'm exhausted, I may tell you I have to do you a reading next time. But all right, shuffle these. I'm very interested as to what card I'm going to pick for you, Kate. Really, really interested. Okay, here it is. So Kate's card is counseling, which is interesting. You heal with kind words, wise advice, and an empathic ear. Kate, I'm going to read you what it says in the book for this, because with these cards, you really do need to go to the book, or else you can easily say, like, I know Kate is not a counselor by trade, so it's easy to say, what the heck is that? But sometimes when you read these, it's a really pretty card. I don't know if you can see that. As a counselor, I just think it's such a, like an angel holding another little angel in her hand. Oh no, it's like an angel holding a fairy. The one in her hand has like butterfly wings, not angel wings. All right. People frequently reveal their deepest secrets and worries to you because you're a natural counselor who channels wise advice and kind support. This card comes as a counselor for you, advising you to choose a career path involving this type of work. Since you are already performing the functions of a counselor, you may as well receive remuneration In addition to the emotional fulfillment that counseling brings you, the angel can support any need or desire you may have for classes that will teach you skills and lead to proper licensure. Your counseling path can be along the lines of life coaching, where you can help clients organize their goals and intentions into achievable steps, or you can blend in spirituality through traditional pastoral counseling or via the more alternative path of giving readings. Your work could also involve writing or teaching. The main point is that this life purpose uses words as a healing modality. With the proper training, you're highly qualified to conduct counseling work. Please don't think that your own life needs to be perfect before you can help others. All counselors have their own ego issues and human imperfections. The point isn't whether you have these character and life quirks, it's what you do with them that counts. As long as you listen to your clients' feelings with an open mind and heart, their needs will be served. So I hope some of that resonated with you, Kate. Okay. All right. I would love to do a reading for you, Brittany. I'm just going to scroll down to make sure that Brittany hasn't requested a certain kind of card. 3-card tarot. That's what I was going to do for you anyway, my dear. Okay, so let's do a 3-card tarot. So I have my Hermetic Tarot deck. And I will tell you the honest reason why I have my Hermetic Tarot deck. So my Hermetic Tarot deck, like I've said, I am not a tarot reader. For some reason, my brain just doesn't like to hold information like that. I do tarot readings for myself, but again, I have to look at books a lot. So this tarot deck is my flashcard deck. So each one of these cards on the back, I have put information about what they mean. So this is why I'm using this card deck. It's also a really cool card deck. It's all black and white. I think the pictures are really interesting, and the pictures really try to tell you a lot about what the card means itself. So, so having said that, again, if you really want a full tarot reading, go to someone who does it professionally. But I do have some good luck with the tarot, and I do find that I am often able to do some accurate readings. So even though I don't know all the nuances, so the tarot spread that I use is I use 3 cards, and I don't do past, future, present. I do path 1, path 2, and outcome, because I think the tarot more gives us advice rather than tells us what's going to happen. That's my feeling with the tarot. That's how I use the tarot. So path 1 and path 2, sometimes it's just 2 different pieces of advice that you need. Sometimes it's 2 different options that you can take, and you usually will know the case. So this one is for you, Brittany, and I'm just going to lay these out. These are nice. Okay, so path 1 is the 9 of Cups, which is the Lord of material happiness. So this is wish fulfillment, satisfaction, and sensual pleasure. So hopefully something good is coming. And it is Lord of material happiness, so it may be financial. The next one is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is the Lord of the root of the powers of earth. So this is material force, prosperity, practicality, and trust. So we have two kind of prosperity cards coming up for you. And it may also be, that one may also be about kind of tapping into your powers. And then the outcome card is the Sun, which is a great card, and it is major arcana. So anytime it's major arcana, it's important. Lord of the fire of the world. So this is enlightenment, greatness, vitality, and assurance. So you've got some good things coming your way, lady. And again, the first two cards are really leaning towards issues of like financial, but it also may be, I mean, the Sun is much more esoteric, so it's much more about enlightenment. So there may be, and you know, Lord of the root of powers of the earth, so there may be more about kind of intuition going on here and kind of tapping into your own powers. So I hope that is helpful for you. One of the things I do believe with tarot often is it's nice for you to kind of do your own readings. So, you know, what resonates with you? What makes sense out of that? What doesn't? What is helpful information for you to know going forward, and what isn't? And it may feel like cheating because you know what your issues are, but I think, again, I often use the tarot like advice. Like, you know, help me on this path. Okay, so that one is for you. Tom, I would be more than happy to do a reading for you. You got some big cards here, Tom. Boy, you got all major arcana. Okay. So the first card you got, and again, this is like path number one or tip number one, tip of the day. So this is the Hierophant, Magus of Eternal Gods. So the Hierophant is really about education and about sort of finding like ideals. It's often about, the Hierophant I actually know quite a bit about. So it's really about looking for like, you know, the perfect, the perfect something often. So it may often be, you know, what your expectations are. It's also about belief systems, conformity, group identification as well. So sometimes it's about sort of, you know, what people think you should be doing, or what you think you should be doing. Wheel of Fortune, Lord of the Forces of Life. So again, another, these are big cards. These are big cards. Destiny, turning point, movement, personal vision. I think you've got some big decisions you're working on in your life about, you know, what your life is going to be. The Emperor. So this is the outcome. This is what I consider the outcome. Son of the Morning. Fatherhood, structure, authority, and regulation. So again, I think it's always, you know, if you don't want structure and authority, then you may need to look into how you are looking at these other things in terms of education, you know, conformity, things like that, because it looks like these things are leading you towards more structure, although structure is a good thing too. You know, structure is not always a bad thing. So I'm going to keep going for a couple more minutes, but my battery is getting really low. Computer's getting old. So I have the plug here, so I may have to just run and grab it so I can plug my computer in, because I'm happy to keep doing these readings. All right, sorry. Every time I touch my computer, it kind of moves my camera around. Sorry. All right, so that was for you, Tom. Okay, so let's see. I would love to do one for you, Sophie. I still think it's really interesting that I was one of Tom's guys. Okay, Sophie, let's do a reading for you. You know what, Sophie? Before we start your reading, I'm going to just go get the plug because I can see that there's a bunch of other people who want readings. So let me just go get the plug and then we don't have to worry about my computer dying. Okay, so I'm really going to jack up the camera probably when I plug this in, so I apologize. Yep, totally jacked it. Okay. Alright, let me sit. Okay, Sophie, we're ready. Sorry, better than having to do that when it dies and then having to log back in and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay. So here is option 1 or tip number 1. The Princess of Swords. Can you see that? Princess of Swords is kind of cool. She's the Princess of the Rushing Winds. So this is about using your mind, being truthful, being just, and having fortitude. And then the Princess of Pentacles. Got some cool princesses here. Have an effect, be practical, be prosperous, be trusting and trustworthy. I think it's just interesting that truthfulness and trust are coming up kind of twice there. So. And then the outcome card is the Knight of Wands, the Lord of Flame and Lightning. I actually pulled him for myself recently. He is charming and self-confident, daring, adventurous, and passionate. So that's when you're talking about like a person. So those are the pros. Self-confident, daring, adventurous. The cons. He's also superficial, cocky, foolhardy, restless, and hot-tempered. So I pulled this card for me because I have been so restless. Again, like I said, I want this to be what I do when I grow. I really want to focus on this. I'm so excited about doing this. And then, like I've said before, then I go back to my kind of pointless job tomorrow morning, first thing. So you may be being restless, or you may just, this may just show that you need to be more adventurous and passionate and self-confident. Okay. So let's see, who else do I need to get in here? You guys are cute, cute, cute. All right, who is next on here? All right, I'm going to catch up on some of these. Well, I appreciate it. As somebody who kind of crashes out at like 9:30 or 10 every night, again, I've got a little guy, so I'm a bit justified. Trying to stay up late kills me. Yeah, that'd be great for those of you who do yoga. Like, so my dream is to someday, so this is my pipe dream, when I'm 50, sooner if I can. I want to buy, there's a nice little lake near here, and I want to buy a 6-bedroom lake house and have you guys come down for the weekend and be able to do yoga in the morning and, you know, do guided meditations all day long, go for a nice swim in the lake, you know, let people set up tents on the yard, have my husband build a yurt so we can get a whole bunch of people to stay, and we'll do retreats right at my house. The house I'm in is so tiny, like people who stay as guests have to stay in my son's room, so it's pretty much for grandparents only. All right, let's see. Yeah, but the yoga is going to be something, again, I really want this to feel like a real retreat. So, all right. Faith, I would love to do a reading for you. Okay. And if anybody else wants a reading, get it in now, because otherwise after Faith, I'm going to probably call it a night. This has been so fun. I really enjoy it. Okay, a whole bunch of new comments just came in, but let me do Faith. Okay. So Faith, you know what you're asking or what you need advice on. So your first is 5 of Cups. This is the Lord of Loss and Pleasure. So this, okay, so it's cards like this that make me not do 3 single card readings. So this card is loss, bereavement, and regret. So you may know what that means. It may be something you're going through. It may be something it's telling you to watch out for, and watch out for regrets. So hopefully you will know if that's something that you're unfortunately currently dealing with or something that you might be able to avoid. 5 of Swords. So it's interesting you got 2 5s. 5s are tough cards. Lord of Defeat. Self-interest, discord, and open dishonor. Okay, so again, this may be something, and again, these are not always you. So there may be somebody that you're dealing with who is really out for their own self-interest, or it may be something from their past that's coming back up. But here's the outcome, and it's the King of Wands. So this is the Prince of the Chariot of Fire. So this may redeem. So this is creative, inspiring, forceful, charismatic, and bold. So luckily this is the end card, because the first 2 cards that are tough, it may say that you've gone through some of these things, but this will be the outcome. You will be more creative, you will be inspired, and bold. I mean, one thing I have found from going through any kind of traumas and tough stuff, once I've gotten through them, man, I'm tougher. You know, going through really awful jobs or really awful situations or deaths and things like that, when I come out the other end, and I actually, you know, really come out the other end and have survived it, the small little anxieties don't seem to affect me quite as much for at least a while, because I lived through it. And I know I can live through it, and I remember that in the future. So, so that's Faith. I'm sorry, Faith, I don't know you really well, so I don't know if that resonates with you. Faith, if you want to friend me in Facebook, Jessica Cross. It's got a picture of my face, my hair pulled up. I know sometimes I'm like 100 down there if we don't run in the same circles. I can put you in the Facebook group, and we can chat about it if you want. Let's see. Is there anyone else? Sure. I don't give private readings. I mean, I can. Like, I did for a little bit. I was kind of like doing I was doing like videos of them. But, you know, really, if it's like if you just like, if you want it for relaxation purposes, then I can do that. If you just like me doing readings, I can pull cards for you here and there. Again, but again, there are people who are really, really knowledgeable about tarot. I think I have some ability with tarot, but my knowledge is not as strong as many, many other people. So, yeah. So, okay, let's see. I'm glad, yeah, those of us who are kind of like counselors in our life to everybody else know who we are. I became a counselor because I decided I didn't want to do it for all of my friends anymore. I wanted to actually know what I was doing. Good. I'm glad that really resonated with you. I'm glad these are really resonating with you. Okay. Good, good, good. Sorry, I'm just reading all the... Why, Katie, I can do one for you. Did I skip you? Katie, I'm gonna give you one. I'm not that wiped out. I'm sorry if I skipped you on there. Yeah. Let me do one for you. And I think there may have been one other person that I skipped. If I did skip somebody, let me know. I don't want to skip anybody. I'm just, the feed got ahead of me. So, did you? Yeah, this is a cool deck. I like this deck, but it's also really good. It's a really good training deck. So, all right, so this is for Katie. Okay, Queen of Pentacles is option number 1. Queen of the Thrones of Earth. So, let me just try to see myself so I can make sure that I'm showing you the card. It's a cool deck. Nurturing, big-hearted, down-to-earth, resourceful, and trustworthy. 3 of Swords. Tip number 2 or option number 2. Heartbreak, loneliness, betrayal. Don't pick that option. That would be my choice. My choice would be go with Queen of Pentacles. Be nurturing, big-hearted, down-to-earth. Don't go with heartbreak. If I were interpreting this, that would be how I would interpret it. Don't do the loss of the Lord of Sorrow card. No. Okay, Tower. I pulled the Tower for myself the other day. Tower's not always bad, but Towers change, and Towers usually tough change. Tower's usually tough change. Sudden change, release, downfall, revelation. Now, I pulled this for myself the other day, and I was pulling just a daily card. So let me just tell you my Tower story, because I was like, oh no, Tower, tomorrow's going to be really hard. What happened was I got yelled at work for something. And honestly, one of the... not yelled at, reprimanded, because especially it's all done by email, so yeah, I don't know how hard you can yell at somebody in an email, but I got reprimanded for something at work. It's not, you know, kind of reprimanded, saying, why'd you do this? But I had to explain myself, and I had made a mistake. And honestly, that's been some of my work for the past couple of years, is how do I not get crushed when I make a mistake at work, because I make mistakes at work all the time. So the Tower may not be, and I was like, wait, this is my big Tower moment? Like, this is the big crushing thing that's going to happen today? Okay, big deal. Like, I can handle it. But often the Tower is about, like, hearing truth that you need to hear. So it's like revelation. So sometimes it's not awful. It's not, but it can lead to powerful change because it's something that you needed to know. So I'm hoping that for you. All right, guys, I am hearing doors slamming downstairs. So that means end of rehearsal. That means my house is going to get noisy. But let me see if there's anything else I want to say, especially because this is our last one. So here, let me pull the door shut in case it does get noisy again. And it's cooled down a lot in here. All right. So let's just talk for last of this workshop. I want to thank you guys very, very much. As I've said, I've been searching, kind of unconsciously searching for a community for a while. I've searched for it personally, and you know, I tend to have a few really close friends. But my life is such that you know, I have one musical group that I participate in, but even that I haven't gotten to, and my husband runs it, and even that I haven't gotten to in a couple of months, just because the person who puts my son to sleep when I go to rehearsal has been ill or out of town or something, so I haven't been able to get to that. So like regular community meetings live, very hard for me. So I've been searching for something online, and I've tried a few different avenues, and I haven't felt really welcomed in any of the avenues that I've tried. Now, the ASMR community, I have felt very welcomed, but like I've said, it's a big community. So creating this Facebook group, and my intention with the Facebook group was, let me create this Facebook group so if people have questions for me that are more private, they can do that. And it has turned into something so much more valuable to me. I have really been amazed by how open people have been in there, and caring to one another. And so has really fulfilled a need for me that I don't necessarily know I was seeking, but I sure as hell needed. So I don't want to like put it on you like I'm this sad, lonely creature. I'm not. I have a lot of really good friends, but I also have a very busy life and a 3-year-old son. So sometimes my husband's like, you need hobbies that are off the computer. And I'm like, honey, when do I have time for hobbies that are off the computer? I have like, if I'm lucky, I have a half-hour nap window. Like, anytime I have a quiet moment where I'm not taking care of my son, I am working, because I work part-time. So the computer is one place where I can jump on for 10 minutes and have some sort of interaction, or listen to an ASMR video or something. So I think, you know, I have my small group of friends when I want to interact with people live, and I do, and I see quite a bit of them, especially now that I have a friend who's got a son the same age as my son, and they love each other. So now I can visit with my friend, he can visit with his friend, and we're all good. But it's a very small handful, and many of them live in different states. And that's my family. And love my family to death, and they sometimes drive me insane. So there's only so many, you know, at a certain point I need to get away. And you know, the more reading I do, I'm really an empath. I get overwhelmed by being around too many people for too long. So I need to withdraw and have my own home space too, just to stay sane. I notice sometimes when I'm out and about too much and I don't have downtime at home, I'm just kind of crazy and stressed. So this community has really given me a way to interact. And part of it, I know I don't want to make more of it than it is, but I think it's going to keep growing. That's what I feel like. Every week we seem to get closer, and we seem to talk more, and we seem to talk about more stuff outside of the chakra workshop, and it's just powerful to me. So that's what I wanted to say. And I also want to say that we will talk more about the Destiny workshop in the Facebook group, but I want to make sure that any of you that want to be in it are able to be in it. So let's talk more about that. And what else? Excited about the retreat. That's what I'm focusing on now. Because again, it really is. This was tough. This was not happy-go-lucky workshop. This was tough stuff. So retreat's going to be a lot more fun stuff. This is what we want. What do we want to do? So, so thank you guys. It is. I love the ASMR community. I love making videos, but the lack of interaction in a video, you know, again, I got that video recently that has like 7,000 views, and I still don't really know, you know, I have a handful of comments right from the beginning. So the interaction piece isn't there, and that's important to me. Again, my goal is to make a difference somehow in the world at this point instead of what I'm currently spending most of my energy on, which is being able to support my family financially. It is not meeting any personal growth needs anymore. It did for a while. I liked that job for a long time. It's just been 8 years. So it's time for a change. And I'm hoping that change is coming. So, all right, guys. Mwah. Thank you for taking this journey with me. I really appreciate it. And I will definitely check in. We'll do some sort of wrap up. Maybe we'll just do readings and things one night, just see how everybody's doing. I think I'll probably take next week off, maybe do it the following week. And then we got retreat. It's going to be retreat central, and I'm going to be exhausted. I have a massage scheduled for Sunday afternoon. I was like, oh, I better, like, I'm going to be wiped after all of that. So I'm going to get a massage in the afternoon. I'm not giving one, I'm getting one. So I'm going to go have a friend give me a massage. So, all right. Thank you guys. It's been hard work. You guys have done a wonderful job. We'll check up on Facebook, but probably not tonight because it's been an hour and 45 minutes, and I'm going to probably crash out and read all of your comments in the morning. And thank you guys, as always, for being here. Good night. It's been a big one. Big step through the gate.